So I'm here joined today by a wonderful team that we have of three of our wonderful high school principals that have been able to join us. And I know this is the first week where we're welcoming our teachers back. And I'm here joined by Principal Castelli. And Principal Castelli, tell us a little bit about what's going on at Mainland this week.
I got to tell you, Dr. B, the excitement in the air of our first day back with our teachers was electric. They were so excited. The vibe was amazing. You know, this is my fourth year at Mainland High School.
I can't believe it. Time has really flown by, right?
It's crazy. This is my first freshman class or seniors this year.
It's a great feeling,
Yes,
isn't
ma'am.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Principal
So excited.
Chenoweth,
Yes, ma'am.
what school are you from? Share.
University High School in Orange City.
And what's going on, Principal Chenoweth?
We were actively involved all week as well with our teachers. Our cheerleaders welcomed our teachers back in. Our theme for the year is Tackling 2024, and we are excited. We got a plan, and we're ready for our game day.
I love that. And share with the audience how many years you've been with us in Volusia County.
It's my 29th year, my 9th year as principal.
Wow. And Principal Watson.
Yes, ma'am.
The Sharks.
Dr. B, it's so good to be here. I am the proud principal of Atlantic High School. Jason Watson here, everybody. And I just want to say I agree with Dr. Castelli that this week has been electric. We actually invited some of our teachers back a little bit earlier than pre-planning using our Title I dollars.
Yes.
And we were able to invite them in to do some planning with the team and to do some extra stuff. So they were really excited about that opportunity because, you know, pre-planning can be pretty hectic, right? So get ready for our students.
The entire family is back and we're ready
Yes,
for our
ma'am.
students.
Absolutely.
So now I'm going to share with you guys that I know you feel very proud of the work that we've done this past year, right? Some of our results have come in. Our schools have done really, really well. I want to thank you for your leadership, first and foremost, because we couldn't do it without you. You know how important that is. So with that said, as we're gearing up and we're getting ready for 23-24, our theme for next year is Achieving Excellence Together. And I always say that when it comes to our students, I know the word excellence may seem scary at times to some individuals, but do our children deserve anything less than excellence?
No,
Right?
not.
They deserve the best.
They
Dr. B.
deserve the best.
They deserve the best.
So I want to thank you for being here today because we're going to share some advice with our parents. We're going to share some advice with our students so that we can have a successful year as a Team Volusia, right? So share with me a little bit, if you don't mind, about safety on your campuses. What's there? What are the expectations? And I know that many of you have children, you have grandchildren, or a loved one, right, that attends a public school. And some of them in particular are high school. And being a high school principal, per se, with what you know, if you had a student that was going to start high school, with what you know, what would be the best advice that you can provide to our parents as it relates to safety and security?
Oh, I know this one. Can I start?
Go ahead,
Okay,
Principal Watson.
Dr. B, as adults, when we're trying to tell our students how to navigate this world, right?
Yes.
And so often they become desensitized almost to the things they're seeing and hearing online, their friends, the conversations that they're having, but they have to listen to that inner voice that says, you know, this isn't right. I need to let someone know.
Yeah.
And you can let your parent know. That's fine. As long as provided your parent comes and tells one of the adults on campus so that we can address the issue.
So you see something, you say something, right?
100%.
And it's not just about your safety, boys and girls, but it's about every student that's on that campus,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
And
Principal Chenoweth?
I think for that reason, that's why we have rules and policies and procedures in place. So my advice to parents would be, while they may not always understand why we have specific things in place, that it would be helpful if they would teach their children that they need to follow those. And then if the parent is questioning, you know, why we're doing something in a certain way, to just reach out to the principal, you know, reach out to us and ask us, why is this procedure in place? And, you know, and then we can explain that.
To gain a better understanding.
Exactly.
I always say that, you know, sometimes if you're thinking as a parent, you're just thinking of your child. And it's good to think of just of your child or your children. But most importantly, you get that global understanding when you know it's not just about one student or just your child or three or four. It's about the entire student body
Exactly.
that's at that school, right? And one of the things that we're going to be doing differently this year that I'm very proud of when it comes to our code of conduct, it's going to be presented to our students and to our parents once quarterly because it needs to be more than a compliance document, right? These are practices that's going to govern the safety and security of every staff and every student on that campus. So thank you for sharing that. That's a very good point that you made. Principal Costello, would you like to add anything or?
Absolutely. You know, to see something, say something, you got to have a relationship with your kids in order for them to trust you to say something. And that was a big piece of our pre-planning conversations, you know, following that golden rule. You know, if our children were in this school, what would it be like? What would we want it to be like? And that is a supervised, very visible and trusting environment with relationships first. Because
Yeah.
if we have that, then the see something, say something becomes very natural
Yeah.
and occurs often.
You know what? In case of an emergency, share with our parents about the construct of your school. As you know, every school we have sometimes more than one, right? SRO, SRD, but every campus in Volusia County has an SRO, an SRD, or a school guardian, and some of our campuses have more than one.
We have both.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that's there, and these are individuals that we're very grateful to have that partnership with our sheriff's office that are visible. They're there. They're constantly supervising. In addition to that, as you know, we have a plan, a safe school plan. Every single one of our schools have that same school plan. But Florida Fortify, right?
Right.
You can go in and log in any concerns, any tips.
If I could just say one more thing about safety and security
Yes.
for parents,
Yes.
it would be to have conversations, but we're all high school principals.
Yeah.
A lot of our students are driving.
Yeah.
And if parents could have another conversation with their students about driving safely to school,
That's important.
they need to be very aware of the students that are walking, that are riding skateboards and bicycles to school, that are crossing crosswalks.
Yes.
Students, you know, sometimes are a little hurried in their response coming in and going out at the end of the day. So just another conversation about, you know, being a safe driver.
So, as an organization, we're very proud of the work that we've been able to accomplish so far as a team. But as you know, we want to provide to every single learner in our district premier educational services, right? And there's a lot that we're doing. Every single one of you, including your APs, engage in a full week of professional learning, 40 hours. Right? This summer. And you're taking that PD to practice now, where you're meeting with your staff and you're doing a refresh, right? You're retooling or you're reskilling. But when it comes to learning, it's shared responsibility. So I can be a great teacher, but I can't open up your mind to learn unless you're willing to do so. Right? So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing from your end. And again, what are some advice that you have for our parent? Because I want to make sure that as our students are coming onto our campuses every single day, that when they come in, what they come in with here, when they leave, it's a whole lot more here, right? Because employers these days, what are they paying for? They're paying for knowledge and skill set. So what you're acquiring on a daily basis is going to be your asset in life. So talk a little bit about that. You've seen some really engaged students and parents. What is it that they do to foster that, to assist with that process?
I think the first thing, the most successful students or parents that are highly involved just communicate with each other. They're watching that parent portal. They are asking the teachers about the grades. They're asking about assignments. They're visiting the Canvas pages, and that may be uncomfortable for our kiddos sometime to have that extra eye on that. But it also helps the teacher. Having that open communication with our teachers. Our teachers love reaching out to parents and having that open conversation just to ask for help. How can I be more engaging for your child? What can I do in the classroom to reach if there is a wall up there? But that communication piece, just being open to that. And at Mainland High School, I got to tell you, our community, our parents, they're the best in the biz. They really are. They're reaching out to
Be
our
careful, the shark will
yeah,
tell you.
now, yeah, we always have healthy competition, but I can tell you in the Daytona area and in our community, our parents love getting involved, whether it's out after school, during school, volunteering, but that classroom piece isn't lost on them at all.
Right.
Principal Chenoweth?
I think that what we are really trying to do is provide, the extra services that families need. When we are seeing that students are missing school, it's important to be in school. It's hard to learn if you're not in school.
That's true.
And so we want them to be there. And so we've dedicated resources to really monitor attendance and to reach out to parents, to encourage them to have their student in school. But if there's something that they need, if they need a resource, if they're struggling in some way, that we have ways of knowing what some of those community resources are.
Yes.
And we connect them to those.
Our parents need to encourage their students to take advantage of the resources that we do have. For example, I think all of us run this model, but at Atlantic High School, we have Shark Lab, so that is an extra extended learning opportunity during lunch, where teachers are available in their room, and it's like office hours, but it really is a successful model if it's taken advantage of, right? And so we kind of have this year woven that strategy in with our PBIS rewards, because we feel strongly at Atlantic High School that positive behavior, rewarding positive is the way to go. We can't always be consequential. And so we are offering Shark Points for our students who attend the Shark
I did
Labs.
see that myself visiting your campus.
And so I think it's really a positive thing. It's really turning around the culture of our school.
I like that. Some bragging points quickly. Bragging points, and then I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Awesome. We have 4 career academies. We have AIMS, which is our aquaculture. We have TESSA, which is our partnership with Embry-Riddle. Students are earning college credit from Embry-Riddle and learning how to be pilots. We have our Academy of Law and Government, where we have a real courtroom on campus. We hear cases, teen
did
court
see
and
that.
whatnot. And this year, Teal is now an academy again. That is our training program to get teachers into our county. And so we're actually offering the general knowledge test for some of our students at the end of their 4 years.
So
with Teal
excited,
program.
growing our own.
Yeah.
Principal Chenoweth.
University High School is a Cambridge school, and for parents who are unsure of what Cambridge is, it's an accelerated program, international program. We have 3 academies on our campus. We have a biomed academy, finance, that is sponsored by Launch Credit Union. We actually have a branch on our campus where our students learn how to work in a bank with the Launch employers. And so that's very exciting. And then we have a game and sim academy that the kids just love. Oh, our criminal justice program this year is bringing in the 911 communications program.
Yeah.
So if a student is interested in perhaps a career in becoming a dispatcher for the law enforcement or fire department, then they will have to take this course, but it's something they can go ahead and take at the high school and be done with it and graduate and be ready to move right into a job with probably the sheriff's department.
And I'm so happy you brought up the criminal justice program, Ms. Chenoweth. We had our first kids come back with their dispatch certification, starting with the Volusia County Sheriff's Department this year from recent graduates last year, which was pretty amazing.
Love it.
Yes. But at Mainland High School, we're very proud. We have the only electrical program in its second year where students are earning their pre-apprenticeship at Mainland. So they're diving right into a paid internship upon graduation as electricians. That's a pretty big deal. Very high demand job in our communities. And you can't forget about our Collegiate Institute, where students get on a progression plan for their associate's degree and leave Mainland High School with their associate's degree starting their freshman year. And that's grown very big
You were
bigger every year.
instrumental in that.
Yes, yeah. We're in our third year, so next year, we're going to be looking at 30 plus students in their very first cohort graduating with their associate's degree.
That's awesome.
So that's a big deal. And you can't forget all of our state runners up and champions last year in our athletics, right?
Jab, jab.
Yeah, we got to. So whether it's athletics, academics, career academies, you can't forget about our Academy of Science, Inquiry, and Medicine. That's still growing strong. It's been there forever. Kids just love getting those credentials to be technicians upon leaving high school. So we're really rocking.
And we couldn't do this work without our parents and their support, their engagement, their involvement. So we do want to thank our parents. When you're not working 24/7 at the school, what is something that engages you, or a hobby that you have, something that you do when you're not spending 24/7 at the school? Now, it doesn't give you much there, right? 24/7. But
Dr. B, I'm moving my twin daughters into college this Saturday. So that is a loaded question.
Congratulations.
For me, because I am getting to have the empty nest syndrome here. We're a little sad at the house.
Oh,
But I like to golf. I like to golf. I like to
you're
go
going to be
out.
probably golfing
Yeah,
a
I'll be
little bit
golfing
more.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Principal Chenoweth?
Well, my husband and I are the proud grandparents of 3 adorable grandsons. So we actually spend a lot of time on the soccer field. All 3 love soccer, and that's where we are in our spare time.
And it
out on the
distracts
soccer
you a
field.
little bit.
All 10, 6, and 3 years old. So
Oh, yeah,
we got the gamut.
that's a good distraction.
It is.
And how about you, Principal Castelli?
I love spending time with family. You can't go
Yeah,
wrong
you
with
can't
that.
go
So we love doing different things, anything exciting over the weekend, sometimes not exciting, but just spending time with each other.
We are very, very pleased to have these 3 wonderful principals representing our high school division. There will be so many more segments coming our way, but it's so important that we keep our families informed. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you
Let's
to our
go.
special
Go
guests.
Titans!
Volusia County!
Bye-bye.